Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this episode 4 discussion of the Pluribus TV show. We are watching for the first time, and when I say we, I mean me and Kyle Entertainment.
My goodness, Alita, we are so far in the future, anything could have happened by the time this video comes out, you know?
That is
what if
true.
the president dies?
I mean, even if both of us die, this video is scheduled to come out, so could be interesting. But anyway,
this is the last discussion. It's sad.
Yeah, because the world will end. It will become a hive mind, and there'll be no need for entertainment anymore. So.
No, because this episode was so bad, I'm dropping this show, Alita.
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
But you did that to me once.
I did, yeah. But I think that was... Okay, never mind. Who cares about this? We need to do a recap for this event of the episode.
Alita, I watched this episode yesterday. I've forgotten what happens. I need your recap.
All right, so here we go. There was a long opening scene where we're following the unpleasant man from the end of last episode, and then Carol goes...
I said that was going to happen.
You did, and it happened. Carol goes home from the restaurant. I don't know why I said a restaurant. From the hospital, and interviews the shorts guy about Helen, where she starts to think that the hive mind can't lie to her, and then she visits Zosha's body in the hospital, or like whatever, the person who is Zosha in the hospital, and then asks her if the hiving can be undone, and her lack of answer means that it probably can be, and then she goes and steals some amnesia, like reduced inhibition, whatever that medicine was, like some surgery medicine, and then tests it out on herself, and then tests it out on Zosha, and then Zosha has a heart attack while the hive mind is like surrounding them and chanting like, please Carol, and that's where it ends. So kind of crazy.
Now that was scary on God.
Yeah, it was actually, it was interesting. It was cool. They're like crying and stuff, and they're like all chanting in unison, and they're like a little, I don't know, it was a bit creepy. Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, what do you think?
The great Carol's trying to kill them. That's not very nice.
That's not true.
I thought it was more interesting than episode 3, but it was in the same vein, Aliri. A little bit of just hanging out with Carol and trying to figure out some things.
Yeah, this is my favorite, definitely. Because this is one that has very few scenes. It has like 4 scenes basically, but they're all like really interesting. Like I like all of them. Yeah.
Well, it is interesting. The last 2 have been a lot shorter. They've been like 40 minutes about, and the other one, I think the first 2 were about an hour. So
maybe there's some reason or some meaning there, but I don't think so.
These shows nowadays, Alita, I guarantee that last episode, an hour and 24 minutes. What do you reckon?
I think it'll just be the normal length. That's usually how it goes.
But there is no normal length.
I think it'll be the typical 50-minute length, as almost every episode of this show will be. And here we are.
No, there's like Fallout episodes. They decide to do an hour and a half all the time.
No.
Succession's always do an hour and 15-minute ones. House of the Dragon's doing it. So guess what, Aliri? Pluribus, final episode, 1 hour and 24 minutes.
No, none of these are true. And the final episode, I'm sure, will be 50 minutes. But we'll find out. We can discuss this.
Don't you have an Apple TV? Can't you look right now?
Yeah, then look at the thumbnails on the episodes. No, thank you. Okay, I don't want spoilers.
Well, I'm Googling it.
All right, your problem. But first, we can talk about the opening scene, which, my goodness, firstly, you were correct. I was not really expecting us to go spend time with this man, but we do, and it's like the whole opening section of this episode. And it's like a sizable section. It is a flashback, sure. And it's like before the opening credits. Like we're going so long, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But
this was unbelievably disgusting, Alita. I didn't like this at all.
Wait, why? What was disgusting about it?
He was eating dog food. That was yucky, and I was looking away. I didn't want to watch.
I can't tell if you're making fun of people who think that, or if you actually think that.
No, it had a dog on the carton.
I still can't tell. I don't. Basically, when that was happening, what I was thinking is, I'm like, man, it's only dog food. Like, it's not that bad.
No, like, yucky. I couldn't even stand it. I couldn't even look at it.
Wait, you have cats, right?
Yeah, I don't feed the cats, though. If I go near cat food, I want to.
Because I was going to say, the cat food doesn't, like, at least it smells nice. Like, I could imagine eating it.
No, there's one cat food that's literally the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. Oh, wow, it's like the one they get every 3 days. And I got to kill these cats, Aliri. It's unfortunate, but I don't want to smell this anymore. It literally is indistinguishable from the smell of maggots in the bin, because sometimes I have to check the bin to see if there's maggots in it. Yeah. Because this shit smells so bad. It's the white one, Alita.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, true. Okay, anyway.
I would never eat dog food, but I'm terrible. If he had been eating, like, coleslaw, I think I would have reacted the same way, because I think that's equally as disgusting.
Well, is that the vegetable, right? From the...
No, coleslaw is, like, the mix of the vegetable with, like, the white salad. Ugh, mayonnaise? There's nothing worse than mayonnaise.
God, I love mayonnaise. But...
I'm a little squeamish boy, Alita. It needs to be meat and potatoes. That's all we like around here.
Yeah, so I guess to you, watching this scene, you probably were thinking, man, this guy has an extreme resolve. He really doesn't want to talk to his hive mind.
He was licking a thing in the bin, Alita. Yucky.
It was. I like that. It was very cool.
We need to get this guy in the hive mind.
And
then he went outside
what?
and he pushed that nice dinner over.
Yeah, I like the characterization of this guy. I thought it was. I like it. I like this guy. He's an interesting character. I want to see more of him. I don't think we will, but if we do, I'd be very happy. But he's like very.
There's no way we don't, Alita. He's coming back.
We don't have many episodes
because he's the only one so far that's been just like our girl Carol, and that's funny because they yelled at each other on the phone. So don't worry, Alita. She even kind of speaks his language a tiny little bit. Alita. Come on.
Sorry,
now.
that's one of languages that he speaks. He speaks like 3 languages, by the way. But
well, we don't. It doesn't matter what he speaks. It's all about what Carol speaks for him to interact with our great main character, Alita, which is happening soon. I can't wait. They're gonna take over the world.
Yes. But this guy is meticulous, you know, he's very, like, peculiar. He's, like, writing down, like, notes and stuff on the appearances of these people and, like, when they're showing up and timing them and everything.
Well, I thought he was listening to the radio or something. What the fuck was that about?
The thing I gathered from it is that he is doing something to, like, observe intervals of time, and he's, like, being very meticulous about,
I thought it was
how
like
he goes about
frequency or something.
Yeah, so I'm saying intervals.
Time and something.
Yeah.
I meant frequency, like radio frequency, like 1.735.
Oh, it could be, yeah, I don't know. Either way, it's the same thing of, like, being meticulous. But yeah, he's an interesting character. Like, even, like you said, like, when he goes outside and he sees the food, and he, like, so he doesn't get tempted, he, like, knocks it over, and it's, like, very funny. It's like, oh, you know, but the thing is, like, he goes out there to, like, smell it a little bit, and he, like, enjoys it for a second, then he, like, knocks it over, and that's very funny. He's not, like, this very, like, hardened, like, prepper guy who, like, entirely, like, wants to, like, he's like, I always saw this coming, and I've been looking forward to this day. He's just like...
True, I didn't say that last time.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just here, like, I don't want to get poisoned or whatever, and I'm gonna be... Like, he's also apologizes when he has to open all the security, like, deposit places or whatever. That was very funny. He writes this, like, note down, and like, guys, I'm sorry, you know, we have to enter.
He had hope that the world was gonna go back to normal.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Maybe he'll figure it out.
And he will, don't worry. Him and Carol together when they meet up next episode is going to be terrific.
Oh, that's it. Oh, no. Wait, no, there's no way. The show is not... I feel like the show... I don't know. So I just realized, because the opening has... Because it's tying into what you just said about this guy and what he's analyzing, and how it actually could lead to the end of the show, which is that the show opening...
The sound thing.
Yeah, the show opening is about sound waves, which are, like, propagating throughout, like, the title or whatever. And if that is what he is doing, and he is investigating, like, how their signal is interfering with radio signals or something, then I could imagine that being the solution, where he identifies that there's some pattern in the actual radio signals, because that's how they communicate across the world. And it's like, if you disrupt that, then you disrupt the communication. I think that is actually what it is. That would make perfect sense. And why the opening has that pattern.
Maybe he can trace it back to a central location, where they have a queen lady who's the center one. Oh, what's she going to look like?
True.
And then, do you think if we shoot her in half with a bazooka that we're going to ask for, do you think all the other ones fall down like the Avengers?
I don't think so. I think they turn back into normal people, and it'll be a dream come true.
What a great ethical quandary, Illyri. No, of course they're all going to die. So do we get to kill everybody else on Earth? Because there's no way to get them back just to save the 11 of us before they figure out how to get us.
Probably not.
Illyri. Ooh. Aww.
Yeah.
Can't have any fun. And also, that lady's not going to like it when her son gets killed, when we blow the queen in half.
But that's okay. We don't like that lady, so that's all right. Her family can die for all we care.
Then she might pick up the bazooka and shoot you next.
Well, we're going to get a nuclear bomb, and we're going to destroy her, so, yeah. But anyway,
that's a good point.
More importantly, something happened in this episode right at the beginning, which I was looking forward to, and it was a time-lapse. Where Better Call Saul has a bunch of time lapses, and this one we got a time lapse.
No, I don't remember a time lapse.
It was like this music was playing, and he was like going through all the different like security like lockers or whatever, and looking at all the objects. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Wait, that's not a time lapse. That's just a bunch of cuts.
Yeah, a bunch of time passing as we lapse through the episode. Yeah, time lapse. Yeah.
No, a time lapse is when there's a camera in the corner that's a security camera, and we see them cleaning up a room in 3 hours in 2 seconds. That's a time lapse.
Yeah, and what you described is exactly what happened, so... Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. You're bad with your terminology, I see, but that's okay.
He was opening a bunch of things and hoping there was food inside, and that was upsetting.
Yeah, it was very sad. But he did find this, like, little thing, which looked like milk or something, like some, like, liquid, and I was like, I don't know if I'd have this, it's probably off or something, but he would know, I'm sure.
True, yucky! That was yucky too! Oh, I don't like any of this, Alita. Get us out of here.
Yeah, you would have given in. You would have become part of the hive mind, my god.
No, I would have ate their food. They ain't trying to poison me. I already know it. I ain't stupid. Now, Oh, you want to know what was funny is when you were making fun of me for the dog thing earlier, I thought I was just like misunderstanding what was happening, and that's what you were making fun of me for. But it was literally just because you thought dog food wasn't that gross.
Yeah, I think it's gross at all. But it is a thing. Like I know it is. I mean, it's like a little gross. It definitely is, but it's not like it's not that gross.
It's slimy.
Like if I'm
sloppy.
Kyle, if I'm starving, where I'm willing to dig into a bin and like lick the can, I think I'm okay with eating dog food. Like at that point, I'm like,
I
it's
would
like
die before doing either of those things.
True. I think I'd eat the dog food before I started licking the can in the bin where there's a fly like flying around it. I don't know about that. But...
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, anything you want to say about this opening? I guess he like talks to Carol.
The 5-second rule isn't a real thing, Alita. If it falls on the ground, you can't eat it.
I agree. I don't eat things from the ground. Unless I'm in a post-apocalyptic
carrots
scenario.
come from the ground, you stupid idiot.
That's why I don't eat... Who thinks I eat carrots? You think I have a vegetable in my life? I don't know.
Carrots are great.
All right. But...
That's why you didn't grow up big and strong, Alita. You should eat your broccoli.
Yeah. So we see the other perspective of the phone call, and we see that, like, he's interested. You know? He's like, Carol... And I don't know what he wrote down. My assumption is he wrote down Carol is a human or something like that. But I could just be wrong, because I don't speak Spanish, or whatever language it was, but... Yeah.
Oh, they did... didn't they well, they didn't translate the thingy, but they translated what he was saying, right?
Yeah.
And the cabron didn't mean bro. It meant asshole in this context, Alita. And I had commented that it means like bro last time.
Yeah, so you led me astray.
I bet it just means it depending on like your tone. You know, it's one of those languages. I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, it probably depends on context, yeah. But 11 minutes in or 12 minutes in, and we depart from this guy and we never see him again until we see him next time, according to Kyle. But yeah, that's the first stuff. Do you have anything else? What else do you want to talk about now? There's like a bunch of, there's other scenes in this.
Well, Alita, you know, we love Carol's great books just as much as Shakespeare. What do you think?
I thought this was interesting because like Carol uses it as like an objective, like, you know, you have all the knowledge of all that. You're a person who's read everything. Like, what do you think about my book? How does it go in a tier list? Like, it was cool. And then like, even just like the idea of like, if you have consumed everything, then everything probably has a value, and like you probably can't even compare the values, like because they're just so different. And like we like this as much. We love your description on page 2 as much as we love the collective works of like Shakespeare. And it's like, oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then they started quoting it, but at first it almost seemed like they hadn't read it or something. But of course they had. And then also, she never asked them for a direct comparison though, which was something I was hoping she might do. She was never like, is my book better than Shakespeare? It was like, no, they're equal or whatever. And it's like, if you have to choose which one of my books is the best one, which one would you say? And she never did that. Also, this guy, he was a funny looking guy, Harley.
It was, I don't know if I'd put it like that, but he had a certain look where I'm like, this is similar. I don't know if this is it. Okay, how do I say this? I love
like
that.
I just said something mean and you're about to say something even meaner, Larry. This is
no, I was going to say, he's not a conventional kind of actor that you would kind of see in a scene like this, which is awesome, because just like in last episode, we got that unconventional ice room kind of in the opening, and it makes the show like feel slightly different than you would kind of expect from a typical show. And it's like, it's not really a big deal, but it's kind of cool. So I really like this guy, and the way he talked, the way he looked, like everything, like his outfit, like it was all cool. But yeah,
diversity is our strength.
Yeah, true.
But the mayor was outside too, O'Leary.
That is true, yeah. Are you the fucking mayor? Or something like that. Sure.
Carol, she's such a Grinch.
True, and she made a joke last time about the Grinch. She's like, are you the Grinch who stole my grocery store or something? And I was like, oh, that's funny.
Wow.
Yeah. But beyond the even just probing what they thought, they also talk about like the fans' experiences and how there was like a woman who's going to kill herself or something until she read the books. And I was like,
until she loved my book so much.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. Like, there's so many things.
Have you ever got a message like that?
I don't think so. It's possible. I guess.
I think I did one time. I don't think if it was that extreme, but it was something like that.
You know what I get?
I think it was just a YouTube comment.
Because my like popular videos on Elite Aria, Mushoku Tensei videos, so I get a lot where it's like, man, I used to like Rudius, like, you know, I used to think that life is pointless, and Rudius like inspired, and I'm like, okay,
True.
They talk about stuff like that, yeah.
I feel like you easily get that on Berserk videos.
Yeah.
The other one I get, and I know other people have talked about this, is I never really had the words to explain the feelings I had when I saw this scene, but you put them perfectly or something.
Exactly.
I get those ones a lot. Those ones are funny.
Yeah.
Those kind of the same thing. You know, sometimes, Illyri, killing yourself is bad.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Okay. What if you're an
That
old
lady...
man and you're in chronic pain and you're 85 and you're in Canada? Yeah, then it's probably...
What if you just want to, you know? Who's to deprive you of your own right to kill yourself, Illyria? That seems very intrusive and not okay.
Indeed. Who's to deprive you of a nuclear bomb in this world with there's a hive mind and
who's to
DHL
deprive
worker?
You of your individuality? And we gotta kill him, Illyria.
Yeah, wait, we're not up to that yet, all right?
That guy.
Yeah, so what
Illyria,
I have
got
more
something
notes.
to say?
All right, go ahead.
My goodness, Illyria, this was the coolest whiteboard I've ever seen. It had like 3 layers or something.
Yeah,
My
that was
God.
actually cool. And it was a cool character thing where she didn't erase her like book idea. She like moved it out of the way and was like, let me start a new one.
To the side.
Yeah, I like that.
I wish I had a bigger whiteboard.
Indeed, but before we talk this whiteboard thing, more on this actual scene with Helen. Not Helen, with the interviewing. That's what I was talking about. The Helen thing, basically. Like she's talking about. She basically probes this hive mind for like true beliefs from Helen, which is interesting. Firstly, we find out that Helen thought, her books were like mostly harmless, and she didn't even read her like final book that was going to be her like actual book that she liked.
That shit was boring, on God.
Yeah. Which is awesome. And it also like, just as a concept, it's awesome. Like, oh man, imagine if I could like actually understand like what the people I talk to like actually think. But at the same time,
for real.
It's like it's an interesting thing. It's interesting. That's probably the best way to put it. Because on one hand, it gives you the feeling of like, oh, maybe it's actually not good to know everything about everyone else. Like maybe it's not good to become part of this hive mind and actually know the true thoughts of like all the people like around you and Evangelion and everything. But on the other hand, however, Carol is literally taking all the bad stuff that the person is saying and not the good stuff. Because in this scene, they are also saying, she loved you, you had good experience. Like it is all like it's not like she's taking the bad stuff basically.
Well, it's also
yeah.
It's like it's like a human thing of like, I think she's probably confident that Helen loved her, so she doesn't really care about that. But she's not confident in Helen's opinion of her writing, because even in the first episode, I'm pretty sure she asked her like a few times about that, and if she thought her like unfinished thing was good enough or what. And I think Helen was even encouraging her. But obviously, this feels like a very like partner thing where they don't actually care about like the substance of your like thing or your hobby or your job. They just want you to be like happy and do well. And I feel like people can often take that as like a betrayal of like they don't understand and they don't they don't actually like the things I like. I feel like guys complain about this when their girlfriends like don't actually like, they will agree to watch Naruto with them, Elitari, but they don't actually really give a fuck and they're just doing it to like be nice. And not even like they're sitting there miserable like I wish this would end, but they're like, oh, look at him, he's having such a fun time now. And that's like an even worse feeling of being like babied or something, so they hate it. And I think that's like ropes into this a little bit, where it's like she's like read it, and it seemed like she was like her editor or something, right?
I was like part of the
thing in episode
maybe
1?
like a manager or something. I don't quite know.
Yeah, probably more manager.
Yeah.
So it kind of is her job, I guess, to read it or whatever. But
yep,
true.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Also, there was like a thing where was she baiting them by pretending she was upset to see if they would upset her? Because when she writes it on the board later, she seems like completely fine. Like it was like, oh, I'm done playing the part now. See, I wanted to believe what you believed, Leary, and then that thing made me question it afterwards. So if you can convince me, I'll be more happy.
I don't even like. I think well, I mean, obviously it's like
she's
both.
An angry lady, Leary. Of course, she was being truthful.
No, I think it's like both. I think it's like she was going in. Obviously, she brought someone in there so that she could learn more about them. That is the intention. She was probably trying to test out the truth thing as like part of that. But I'm certain that she was not expecting Helen to actually not have read her book, like that she was telling her was good. Like these are things that I don't think she was expecting, and I'm sure they hurt her, like truly. But at the same time, she was trying to learn things, and like it's like a mix there, I think. Yeah.
True. I guess I believe you.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you. But okay.
Oh, I have a note point about this, Leary.
Go ahead.
Helen was lying to make Carol happy. Helen was lying to Carol to make her happy. Is that what people do for those they love? And also, that's kind of what the hive mind is doing, right? They're like ignoring certain details to try and make her happy. So is the hive mind even that different to how humans interact, Leary?
Say that again. Like, explain it again.
So let me not look at that because that's a bad note, and let me say it in my own verbiage, Leary. So It's basically, is Helen that different from the hive mind? And Helen being all interactions between people, okay? So Helen isn't going to tell silly, what's her name, Carol, that she didn't read the rest of that book because it was boring as fuck. She's going to say, oh yeah, you should publish it. You know, you should do it to prop Carol up. And isn't that just what the hive mind does? So is the hive mind really that different?
Yeah, because the hive mind is honest.
But that's not why we hate the hive mind. It's not because they're overly honest. We hate them because they're weirdos.
Well, we haven't got to why we hate them, but there is a good reason that this episode explores. But
I forgot.
Firstly, before we get to any of that, she does write down some things, okay? And I wrote them down here roughly. Number 1, they are eager to please. Would you agree with this?
True.
Excellent. Number 2, they can't kill, or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, number 3, they don't play favorites.
True, they're not going to choose.
Excellent. Number 4, they're trying to change her.
Into them, yes, true.
And then number
Biological
5,
and imperative.
She said, weirdly honest, question mark, and then she got rid of the question mark and then added a bit and said, can't lie.
They won't intentionally lie, Leary. Thus, ending the forever moral debate over whether or not lying is immoral. It is.
True, because the god, which is the hive mind, has told us that they do not lie, or implies that they do.
So, Leary, when you have those nuclear codes and a terrorist says, do you know what the nuclear codes are? You better not say no, Leary. You better say, yes, I do, sir.
You know what you say? You say, I may, but I cannot tell you. That's what you say. It's true. It's honest. But anyway, you say, I have a biological imperative where I cannot do any harm to myself, so therefore I cannot tell you. But anyway.
What you got to do is you got to fly kick him, steal his gun, and save the day.
Indeed. But okay, now we can actually talk about the scene where they talk about... basically, Carol goes to the hospital, and they talk about the conversion therapy that she had as a kid, and how, like, the hive mind... Like, the people there, they used to smile the same way that the hive mind kind of smiles at her. So talking about how, like, they knew better, like, they know what you've been through, and they're gonna, like, you know, they're gonna make you better now. And this is probably the strongest condemnation of the hive mind, I guess, here. Which is, it is the obvious argument, which is that...
I don't know.
Well, really interesting.
Well, I feel like it's different because they've done a thing like this before, where when she said the thing about the drugs, it was kind of similar, I think, where it's like you wouldn't ask because they all say they're happy, right? But you wouldn't ask a drug person when they're high whether or not it's like good for them or whatever.
Yep.
So I kind of felt that it was like this somehow because like that was in. Well, I guess it just depends on what the underlining goodness of the act is.
True.
Like, if it is actually a good thing to join this hive mind, then that's good. But because it's not necessarily conformity to kind of is a literary. But at least the hive mind is nice about it.
Well, so are the conversion therapy people. They smile, you know.
True, they think they do it. They say, "We'll make you normal, lady." Now, conversion therapy, they do that for ladies, literary. I thought that was just for the gay guys.
I don't know the history of conversion therapy. You know that my only interaction with learning about conversion therapy is probably purely through TV shows. I don't think I've ever actually heard about it.
True, because it does sound really scary.
Yeah.
And remember, when Donald Trump first got elected, everybody said, "Watch out for Mike Pence. He's way worse. He used to support conversion therapy."
Oh wow,
that's the first time I ever learned about it.
Yeah. So I think for me, trying to think in the scene, so the similarity is that you as an individual exist neutrally. You are a person, and someone is forcing you to change something about yourself that is just a part of intrinsically who you are, and isn't a negative thing or anything. It's like, I'm gay, you know? That's just who I am. And they're like, actually, it's bad that you're gay. I'm gonna get rid of that. And then what's happening here is that you've got you as an individual who is neutral, right? But this is the question, right? Whether you are neutral. And then the hive mind is going, yeah, that whole, you as a human, we can fix that. We can make you better. The difference is that, being gay is a neutral thing, or there's no, good or bad of it. It's just a part of who you are. And then being human, or being an individual human, is that a good thing or a bad thing? We don't know. So it's it's hard to it is hard to say that this is as bad as conversion therapy because you're changing something neutral about yourself. When it's because like if for instance the hive mind, if it made you like unable to like rape people or something, then it's like, oh, look at this, like we've turned something negative and we can get rid of it. But like the whole of human existence and like identity and individuality is like, how do you weigh that as like a positive or negative thing? And therefore, like, how do you know if the hive mind conversion thing is like a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But as a human, me, obviously an individual watching this, I'm like, yeah, that is bad because, you know, I appreciate being human. So that's why watching this, I'm like, yeah, it's a strong condemnation of it. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I guess elitery, but also, this is an intersection. See, this is like is a thing you're not gonna like, but I feel like this would be the point of the whole show, and I would believe it was the point of the whole show if Vince Gilligan was a gay woman. I
don't know anything about
the fact that he's not. I think, I
don't know anything about. Firstly, this isn't. He is the showrunner, but it is a writer's room. Like this episode was written.
That
by,
is
like,
true. Every
else.
time it says he's never written. Maybe the first one he written directed. I ain't seen his goddamn name since O'Leary. This idiot's doing nothing. Yeah. Now, but I assume he would come like this. I guess this metaphor fits so well. It kind of could be the main thing. Is the offshoot of the substance of this point, O'Leary, because it is kind of very familiar. And obviously, we all go conversion therapy. That's very scary and very wrong. So now, how am I ever supposed to like this great hive mind that I'm in love with and want to join? I guess I just don't. I think like whatever the resolution is, it will be because of something else. So what did I say about this before? It was like the drug thing. I don't know how to connect these 2 points, Leary. So
yeah, it's true. Lovely. What do you think about the element of the scene? I think toward the end where Zosha was saying, like, we know what it's like to be you, but you don't know what it's like to be us. What do you think about that?
True. They got all the knowledge.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it is tough. It is like the drug thing where it's like you don't know. Yeah, like once you become that,
right?
Well, even like it's like once you become like a drug addict, like it's an irreversible change. Like you're there, and like as necessarily part of becoming that, you are that now. Not drug addict, but like if you are part of the hive, inherent to trying out the hive is that you will never leave the hive. And it's like, yes, like it is an illusion of choice where it's like you feel like you have a choice when you join the hive, but definitionally by joining the hive, you will never want to leave the hive because no one wants to leave the hive. Like it's part of their imperative or whatever.
See, this is why the most interesting thing that could happen in this show is for them to release somebody and for them to still very much be in, what do you call it? In devotion to the hive, but not in a creepy way. So they were like talking like a normal person trying to convince Carol or something. That would be crazy on board.
You have convinced me like a little bit, just based on that little thing we talked about at the beginning with the guy writing down signals. Because what happened? Like there is a way that these. Well, okay, let me tone down my claim a bit. I was gonna say there has to be a way that they are communicating amongst themselves using some form of like signal or something, right?
Telepathy.
Yeah, like information has to get across the world somehow. Now that's not necessarily true. Yeah.
Well, it didn't, because that one time it took a little while. That wasn't really because it took a little while. It was because they were just waiting for the other humans to respond, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like as far as at a surface level, it's like they have to communicate somehow instantly in their mind, not psychologically, what do you call it? Like psychically or whatever. Telepathically. And then how do they communicate? Like, is there a way to, if you put them in like a Faraday cage where like no signals can come in and out and it's like impossible to like get a signal in and out, would that like break them off? Or is it literally
Faraday, like that guy from that show we watched?
Yeah, exactly. Named after Faraday, the famous guy who like invented I don't know, he did something with magnetism or something. I have no idea.
Magnets, how do they work?
True. But
O'Leary doesn't know that joke.
I could imagine a scene in the show where they try that out and they put someone in like a Faraday cage and see what happens. Or maybe we get an episode where we see all the tests they're doing and that is like one of the tests. And it's like, whoa, they're like testing out how to prevent like Faraday cage, like things, or get it past the Faraday cage.
Wait, what's a Faraday cage? Dark cage.
It's like I don't know the details, but the idea is that it's like a little metal cage that you go in, and because of the structure of the metal or I have no idea, it like interferes with all the signals, so you can't get any like waves in and out of it. Like if you're in a Faraday cage, my understanding is you wouldn't be able to get like a Wi-Fi signal or a radio signal or stuff like that, but I could be wrong, but...
What about a virtue signal?
Oh, yeah, you could definitely see that. That's true.
No, you just paint it dark. So, O'Leary, you want to know something fucking crazy, bro?
Go ahead.
You know the Wi-Fi? You know your house has like walls, but it goes through the wall somehow. How the fuck does that work? I'll never.
Well, how does heat go through walls?
It heats out the outside, and then the outside gets hot, so then the inside gets hot.
Well, I think it's pretty similar.
No,
because heat is a form of radio wave, right? Which is like
what?
Well, heat is like infrared, right? Like it is hot. Like it is temperature is like a form.
I don't know what infrared is. That's the glasses you wear in Call of Duty.
Infrared is a type of, oh god, I don't even know how to explain this to you. Like visible light. Oh god, I don't know what you know. I just know that waves are like things, and they like go through things like the same way heat goes through things, and that's how information can pass through physical things, because heat can pass through
solid things. You can't.
Apparently, you can
though.
Yeah. How does it go through a window? A window is solid. Like, how do you see light?
How does what go through a window?
Light. When you're looking outside, the light is going through the window.
Because, you know, it's see-through, obviously. Duh.
Okay, so maybe the see-throughness of visible light means that visible light can come through. Maybe other objects are, like, transparent. They're like other forms of light, with, like, radio waves or stuff like that.
But not a wall, literally. That's rock solid.
It's just not true. If you make the... What is it? If you make the amplitude of the wave big enough, it can probably pass through anything. Or maybe it's the other way. If you make it thin and small enough, I have no idea.
Yeah, it can pass through it like a sonic beam if you blow the hole in the wall, obviously. Duh.
Maybe. That is true. All right. But...
Don't you love our little science asides, Literary? We've been doing them a lot recently.
I wonder what the people think
I like
about
when
them.
you teach me things. Though today you didn't teach me nothing. I don't understand how it goes through a wall still.
You know what? Because I don't really know if I could explain it, but waves, which is the premise of the show, because the opening has waves. Therefore, that is...
The moon causes the waves, idiot. There's no waves.
That is true.
Sound waves? I don't know about that either. That sounds fake too.
Yes. We live in a world where the sun revolves around the earth because of geocentrism.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Pretty sure it's flatterleatery.
Next up, we get a scene where Carol, firstly, she goes and tries to get some heroin. And the guy's like, "You sure you want some heroin? It's been a while, you know. Last time you used it, you were this old. You should probably sniff it. You just snorted instead of like injecting it." I'm like, "Oh my god."
True, that was great too. Because I'm assuming snorting it is a lot safer or something.
It was funny. Yeah, that pharmacist was looking.
But yeah, it's another thing, like nukes, where they were reluctant.
Yep, but they gave in. But
it was interesting that like they said they had like patients that were still like on the come down from quitting their opiates or whatever, because it's like a physical process and stuff.
Makes sense, yeah.
I've heard wrestlers describe getting off pain pills, Leary. Sounds like the worst thing you could ever go through in your life.
Probably, yeah.
Besides eating stuff out of a trash can, that's a lot worse.
Or dog food. Ugh, God.
Oh my goodness
gracious
me.
God. Anyway, yeah.
Wait, you said something? Oh,
go ahead,
I was a little confused in this thingy because she gets the heroin and then she gets some other stuff, and they flashed a thingy and a textbook, and they expected me to understand a literary, and then I was like, I'm just going to assume this is like truth serum or something. And then I said, that's not a real thing. That was in Harry Potter. But that's kind of
Wait, have you've never seen those like videos of people who get their wisdom teeth removed and they're all like loopy and they don't like...
They're crazy, but that's because they took that's like when you take the wacky tobacco leader, you just go a little crazy.
Well, yeah, there's two things associated with that. You are both crazy, like you're not crazy, like you're just saying things, like you're more open to speaking things. And at the same time, when you're done, you don't remember any of it. You have complete amnesia of the whole like thing. Have you ever had a surgery? Which is different.
No, elitery. I'm tough.
Yeah. It is crazy. Having a surgery is the craziest thing in the world because you close your eyes and you wake up somewhere else and like the whole thing's done. You're like,
no,
did it happen yet?
That's scary. I don't like that. One time I passed out for like 3 seconds, Leary. That was crazy. That was scary.
That is kind of crazy, yeah.
I was watching The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. I said, I gotta pee. I got up too fast, Leary, and I hit my head and I cut my little eyebrow open and I was out. And then the only reason I came to and realized was that the scene was only like 3 seconds into the future. So I said, huh? It's only been 3 seconds? And then I walked out there and I said, Mommy, I passed out or something.
Wow. And then you made your Vinland Saga video where you shit on the anime and so people hated you.
What? Why are we connecting these two things?
I'm just making fun of you, okay? It's all right.
Oh, because I hit my head, so I was so silly,
yeah,
Alita?
Exactly,
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
But Vinland Saga, the anime, fucking sucks.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what? I don't blame you for not understanding what's happening here because I also didn't. But I think that's the point. Well, we're meant to figure out what she's doing. We're not meant to know immediately, like, oh,
true, because she starts recording herself, and then she has to watch it back.
Yeah, exactly. What were you thinking?
But I wasn't sure.
Like,
I'm pretty sure she flushed the heroin.
Yeah.
Well, she flushed the heroin, so I was like, I'm pretty sure she's not on heroin. But then I'm like, isn't this what heroin would do? So then I
My
was like,
God.
did she flush the other thing or something? But I feel like heroin, when I've seen it in shows, has been a little brown, yucky looking powder or something. So I was pretty sure. And, people be flushing drugs in these mafia shows and stuff, Leary. So that's also, you notice all the toilet water like goes out and then fills it back up, Leary? What was with that?
Is that not how toilets work? What do you mean?
No, in my toilet, Elitery, the water state like it's always coming down and there's always water. It doesn't get empty for a second and then fill back up. There's always water.
Well, I mean, it's possible. Yeah, true.
Probably now, Elitery, I know how toilets work about as much as I know how waves go through walls, but I'm pretty sure there's like a thing and it pushes it down when it fills up with too much water, and then the water goes out a little bit or something.
You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure we've had this discussion. Like, I don't know how many years ago it was. It was in a video.
No,
I tried to explain, like, there's an S bend or something, and it has to do with the amount of water in the thing, and it, like, pushes it above the limit, and there's, like, a whole siphoning
effect. This is probably about taps or something.
Maybe. Yeah, who knows how toilets work? They work though, and it's a miracle. So we're very happy that they work. Now, do you think there was an ice toilet in that ice place that they were joking about? I don't know.
No, because she said you got to go down the hall to a real toilet or something. Now that place was fake, Leary. There's no way you can have an ice place. What if there's a it's just gonna melt, and what if it melts like the ceiling melts and then it like crushes you to death, Leary? This isn't gonna pass any FCC thingy. What do you think the FCC is, Leary?
The Federal Communications
I feel like that's the thing they say in succession, so it's definitely got to do with like taxes or something. Maybe. So that doesn't apply.
There is a way to. They certainly talked about this on the podcast, which I'm sure when we finish the show, I'll go back and watch it and I'll tell you what they said about it.
Okay, report back. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what the fuck were we talking about? We're heroin talking about and drugs and filming ourselves.
Yeah, she records herself, and I like it. It is again.
She said, "Why is that lady so fuckable?"
Yeah, true. Why she gotta be so goddamn fuckable is the thing I wrote down.
That was the plan, you silly lady.
It was great. It was funny. I like the scene. She's like having different stages of like grief, and she's crying about people dying, Helen dying, and then she's talking about the fuckable lady, and it was good, but.
They're gonna kiss Elitery. Stop this. She's not gonna be dead either. That's not nice.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I have no idea. She could be dead. We'll talk about it when we get to predictions, I guess. But before we get to that, Carol, she basically comes up with the plan and then executes it. Now, Kyle, tell me, what was her plan? Have you understood it properly?
She was gonna drug her so she'll say the honest truths or something, or try and lie or something. But what was really gonna happen, Elitery, that didn't happen, is she was gonna get out of the hive mind for a second. It was gonna do that thing I keep saying needs to happen, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, all that happened was that she basically sat there and tried to resist, but then like ultimately like was really struggling to say anything, and then passed out and probably died or something. But the question at this point is, firstly, just to say, the Carol Please stuff, I thought that was awesome, or Please Carol, or whatever the episode was called. Just the fact that they're all like
that is
crying, and like I feel a little bad for them. I'm like, oh, Carol's like drugging them and like making them do things they don't want to do, and like I feel a little bad for this hive mind here. Like one of their little entities is being like tortured.
They didn't do nothing.
Yeah, true.
So hold on, Elitery. Did this lady have a heart attack because she wasn't like Carol's not a doctor and she was given her medicine and that she shouldn't have been, or did she have it because like the truth ruined like something to do with the hive mind? You understand?
Yeah, that is the question. I feel like we'll probably find out.
Maybe she has a pre-existing condition that doesn't meld with this medicine here.
Yeah, exactly. Carol's not a doctor. Like she would have no idea. I truly don't know. Because it did feel like she was really struggling to like resist answering the question, but at the same, and everyone was also, we have to take into account what the people are saying, which is please Carol, which on the surface level makes you think, okay, they don't want her to reveal how to get rid of them because they love existing or whatever. But at the same time, it could be a please Carol. They're like they're speaking Zosha's thoughts in that moment, like that individual's thoughts of like, please, you're gonna kill me, don't do this, please, like I can't answer this or I'll die, they'll kill me, the hive mind's gonna kill me, they're gonna like deploy my like body into the
I didn't think about that.
So I don't know. It was a very scary visual though, when all these people are from different areas are all arriving there and they're like circling her. And I'm like, are they gonna listen?
Over.
Like, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. It is interesting. And also,
it was also the thing. They what?
They like listened to her when she's like, get back, and they go back. And I'm like, oh well.
True, they did. It was because we speculated on like, what if she started killing him or something? Yeah. And I thought this was the closest we've gotten, but they didn't attack her. But I thought maybe,
Yeah, at the end they were like, Carol, can we help please? And she was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Poor Zosha. And by poor Zosha, I mean poor body in the shape of Zosha that has the mind of everyone else, including doctors and evil prisoners and children and YouTubers and so on and so forth.
How come there's no Australian guy that didn't get hive-minded?
Because there's only 30 million of us, and there's like 8 billion people in the world.
We're up to 30 now?
Aren't we? I don't know. It's roughly, if we round up, okay?
O'Leary, forever, the population of Australia will be 24 million, because that's what it was when I was 8, and I first learned what populations were.
Yeah, that's true. What's the population of the Earth? I know the answer.
7, of course. 7 billion.
Incorrect.
Because that's what it was when I was 8.
Yep. 8. That's close enough. 8.3 billion, actually. That's the answer.
We got to get rid of some of these people. I thought COVID helped us out with this.
I don't condone any of that. Now, all right, any other thoughts? I got some miscellaneous notes, or whatever you've got. Go ahead.
Got so many notes, Leadery, you don't even know what to do with them all.
Excellent.
Couldn't open the milk bottle. True, she was struggling and Carol had to open it for her.
I felt so bad for her. I was like, oh.
I was like, odd. I was like, they're not doing something efficiently here. Well, I guess they were, but it was not working.
I did have a genuine moment of empathy there where I was like, I actually feel bad that she can't open the thing. And if I was in that situation, even if I hated the hive mind, I probably would have helped. I'd be like, oh, like, you know,
I love the great hive mind. I have great empathy for them all.
True. All right, next.
Mm-hmm. Oh, next for me.
Yeah, I had notes.
What if she undoes the virality in the end, but her girlfriend doesn't love her anymore? Oh my god, the ending of this show that's obviously going to happen, Alita, is this lady is from, where was she from? Like Morocco or something. Yeah. I only guessed that because the normie said that. But they also guessed like the thing right afterwards wrong. You can never trust the normies.
She's from somewhere that isn't Australia. That's all I can say for sure.
There was Arabic writing, but also she didn't have a headscarf on, but also a lot of other people did have headscarves on. So Morocco seems pretty safe answer. And she doesn't look Asian, so it's not Indonesia. And that is my geographical knowledge of all Muslim countries, Illyri. I know which ones are more tolerant and stuff, except they don't, Illyri. So this is the joke here. Yeah. Start laughing. So Morocco. Also, it was on the water. So, you know, it's not in that fucking desert, Illyri. Don't be stupid. Yeah. Morocco, that's in north of Africa, and it's a pretty place.
Right. I don't know anything about Morocco.
Now, the point of that was, she doesn't love Carol. She wants to go home when they're all free. Aww.
Yeah, that's very true. There'll be a moment where
Carol doesn't get Helen back.
Yeah.
So then,
if anything, she is killing Helen. Her memory lives on in this hive mind.
No, because Carol remembers the leadery. Now,
she didn't know that she didn't read her book. That memory only exists in the hive mind.
Well, she knows it now. Now, Leary. Now, this is what happens 30 minutes into... Oh, by the way, I looked it up before and I didn't tell you. The finale is 57 minutes, so congratulations.
Excellent.
Now, that's what happens at the 35th minute, but then at the 40th minute, she turns the hive mind back on, so her girlfriend will love her, and they live happily ever after.
You know, I could definitely imagine that happening.
That would be cool.
A thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, Leary, I got another one.
All right.
Fun fact. She's got so many fun facts, Leary.
What? Oh, when the hive mind is like saying stuff. Yeah, true. That is true.
No, our girlfriend, of course, not the hive mind. Yes, she's always saying, fun fact, this is when the thingy, and this guy over here was a fan of your books or something, she says at one point. That was pretty cool. Now, next to this, I have chills written down. There were chills for something. Carol said this
I know
is like the one moment Carol lets herself go. She it's just like has a joke with the pretty girl hive mind where she's like, yeah, that gives it was to do with the fan thingy that I just brought up. She's like, oh yeah, gave me chills all over. So she was joking. Yeah. She was like being sarcastic. It was like something she would say to Helen, but she said it to the hive mind. Silly Carol.
I thought, you know what I thought? I thought you meant that you got chills because I capitalized my notes when I was writing them down at a certain moment because it was the moment where she realized that she can literally just ask the hive mind about if there's a way to undo it, and then by them not answering, she has an answer, and I was like, oh my god, she can do that. That's crazy. That's a good point.
That's my very next note, Alita. She asks if she can kill it, won't answer, but that's an answer on God.
Yep, it's kind of crazy.
And then they seemed concerned about that. Yeah. My goodness. And this is another thing we speculated. What if she asked how to kill it? And that's what they kind of did. So.
Yeah. The question then becomes, and this was the only question I wrote down, now that they know how serious Carol is about this, are they going to treat her differently now? Like, are they, at the very least, are they going to be are they going to be more vigilant of her? Like, are they going to have people standing guard watching her? Are they going to Are they going to let her have that medicine again if she asks? Like, what are the limits now? Like, is anything going to change? Or is it just going to be the same? Like, maybe nothing will change.
We did not appreciate that, Carol, is what they're going to say at the beginning of the next episode. And then they're going to treat her with a short temper. Or they're going to ban her from seeing her girlfriend.
That's what she wants. Zosha. Okay, true. Sorry,
she's not allowed to go to the hospital to check if she's alive or not. And they won't answer, and we don't see her again until the finale. Now, that would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Or she's dead, but she's not dead.
My guess would be they're probably just going to have people surveilling her, like watching closely, but not interfering, just like watching her more. Like maybe they'll plant like a bug in her house or something like that where they can see what's happening at all times or something like that. You know,
I don't know.
So it's self-defense, you know? They can act in self-defense, I'm sure. That's probably their one thing that they're okay
Can
with.
they?
But yeah, they can't go against their biological imperative, and I'm sure they'll probably defend it, right? Like,
yeah.
What do you think would have happened if Zosha did actually give the answer? You think they would have killed Carol? Or I guess probably not, because they were saying, please, Carol, we don't want to die, Carol.
They would just restrain her.
There is also there's two readings, right? It is the reading either that is Zosha's voice coming out in the other people, or if it is actually the hive mind saying, don't do this because it'll destroy us if you learn. The implication is that if Carol does learn it, it is something she can act upon. Like, not necessarily all things that are like,
yeah, her and her new best friend, the frequency guy.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it was something like, oh, you know, if you could like research this nucleotide sequence and then like, you know, culture it through this like different process, and obviously Carol can't do that, right? So it has to be something that's like accessible, yeah. Which is interesting. I don't know what it could be.
Radios.
Yeah, but even then, like how do you do it? How do you like firstly understand like what it is to fix it, and then secondly, how do you execute on it?
Cut to the 60-year future, and they're all plugged in with their headsets. And I don't know, something later. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, true. But anything else?
Conversion therapy and changing people to be like you. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a great question. Another science with Alita Ree. Everybody get excited.
Oh, God, okay.
So, you know when you get like an injection? It goes into like your veins or something, right?
Well, in order for any form of like nutrient to get around your body, it has to flow in blood. So that's my understanding. Like even when you eat food, I think the nutrients go into the blood. I think I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. So yes, it has to go into your bloodstream eventually.
So Alita, if you get a vein, how come it doesn't bleed inside and you die or something?
Firstly, there's like
puncturing the vein.
Yeah, firstly, there's like very strong mechanisms that act quickly to kind of prevent that, like to stop that.
Oh, it seals up really quick? Oh, okay.
Well, even if you like, even on the outside, if you cut your finger, within a few minutes, it's like sealed. Like it's not gonna, obviously if you pull it again, but it coagulates very quickly. Like the blood itself kind of transforms into a more sticky kind of form. So it like piles up. There's like, the body has like mechanisms for this. Yeah.
Eating from the bin is disgusting, but sometimes you got to snack on some scabs, Alita. Let's not be ridiculous out here.
You know, I've never done that. But maybe it's
liar.
No, I'm not even lying. I've never done it. It's never even crossed my mind to eat a scab. Wait, or do you mean like bite it with your like teeth or something? Because I'm sure I've done that maybe, but I've never.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. I don't know. Maybe you eat it afterwards, but only because you only get it off little by little.
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking about when I was a little kid and you trip over on the concrete at school and you got cuts on your knees and stuff.
Man, that is such a universal experience because I know that's how, and then like it's for a period of time it like turns green or something. It's like a different color, and I'm like, oh, this is like gross. I don't like this. And then you have to like
it's like gray and stuff.
Yeah, like weird. Yeah, ugh. And then Kyle eats it at the end. It's like, okay, thanks, Kyle. That's great.
Not at the end, all throughout it replenishes. Now, what were we talking about? Injections. Okay, true. It heals itself quickly, but like. Because inside this arm I'm looking at, it's not all blood, right? There's like, they're in the little veins. So what if it leaks out? And so how come I can't like touch it and feel some blood in there that's leaking out? Because it covers itself quickly.
Yeah. I think the answer is your body just has mechanisms to like account for all this. I don't know exactly what they are. Like what is in your...
obviously Alita.
Yeah.
But like I'm asking what they are.
Well, when you think of your like, say your like stomach region, like your like, I don't know what you call it, the abdominal cavity. The body has like different organs that are sitting in there, but they're all separated through different, like, there's like different walls within your body that like separate certain things. Like your I don't know enough about the details, but it's like there is a wall separating the organs or the inside actual organs from the skin layer that has like there's like a gap between the skin layer and the organs or something. It's like a whole like your body has a weird structure like that. I did anatomy a long time ago.
Bones and stuff in there, leader. What's going on with the bone?
That is true.
And you got to drink your milk, and they'll get stronger.
I have no idea if that's a myth, but it is a thing.
And sometimes your bones, you can break them, and then they go back together or something. That's not real.
True. Aren't bodies just a miraculous creation by God? It's amazing how our bodies
everything's miraculous, just like Jockey Bacon said. You know, that means God is real.
Yes. QED. All right.
But also, some dumb fucking animal can do all this shit too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Probably not all of this.
A little rat.
Probably
some rat can do this. God.
I feel like, because don't you have to kill a horse if it breaks a leg or something, Leary? But that's probably just because they can't sit still or something.
I don't know enough about horses. Maybe you have to kill them. I have no idea.
Yeah, they're just dumb.
Me personally, I'd never kill a horse.
Me personally, shout out Pyomai. That's a Sopranos reference, Leary. In fact, that's the Sopranos reference, the Normies reference that I referenced to you, I believe, before we started recording. So that's nice.
Shout out to what was the horse name? I'll look it up. I don't know. There was some horse in ReZero, I think, or I don't know what the name was, but rip.
Yeah, there was a horse in Duncan Egg called Thunder, Leadery, and then you dropped the show.
That's right. All right.
Don't worry, you learn all about Thunder. Yeah. Now, anything else you say? No, that was my last. Oh, wait, no, I think I do have it. There's a whole other page down here.
Oh, wonderful.
Nope, there's not.
Oh.
Never mind. I thought there was like one thing on a bottom page, but I think that was from last time. Oh my goodness, Alira, we got to watch another episode. Is that what you're telling me right now?
So what have we got? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 5 episodes left. After this episode, we'll be halfway,
so many.
Or more than halfway. So.
True. And we do have to slow down because I don't think I've done anything but watch Pluribus the last 2 days.
That is true. So we'll see. But
and we got to make some real videos about
Pluribus. Like a great JJK video on Friday. So
oh my goodness. Will the Canberra Raiders fall off in 2026, O'Leary? Well, I got to write it down and find out.
Yes. So everyone, right now, there's a few... Okay, listen to my voice right now. There's a few things you have to do. Firstly, you have to go to the description and click on Secondary NT, and then go subscribe to that channel, okay? And then when you're done with that, let's give them a few seconds. They're doing it right now, okay? So they're clicking, they're like scrolling up, they're pressing subscribe, they're coming back. Okay, now you're going to click on the subscribe button under the video right now, okay?
Now you got to click unsubscribe from Ordinary RE. Come on now.
No, then you need to scroll to the description and then click on the Twitter link for my Twitter, and then you're going to go follow that because I need you to follow me there because why not? You know, I just need my numbers to go up. And then you can close, to go down, I was going to say you can close it, but you can't close it. Then you have to go down to the comments and leave a comment. And that's the most important of them all, okay? Because that motivates us to keep going. So that's it.
But we've already finished.
There's a chance we're not finished by the time you do this. So you could influence. Maybe we should... You know what we might do?
No chance we are not finished when this fucking one goes out.
Yeah, but maybe all the comments we get, maybe we'll do like a comment reading thing, okay? At the end, depending on if we actually get any.
True, we can do a 10th video.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be like a retrospective on the show or like something like that. So please, guys, leave comments. We'll read them. I guarantee you one day, maybe on a stream at least, we'll read them one day, okay? So,
true. Yeah. Don't undercut the streaming possibilities.
Indeed. So, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week.